McCool, and I'm the HR manager here at the Arora Hotel.
What information do you look for in a young person's CV?
Okay, just recently actually I had a CV from a girl who's in her last year at school, and she didn't obviously have any work experience. However, she has loads and loads of hobbies and interests, which to me shows that she's got some, but she's bubbly, that she's eager to try different things, which also in turn makes me think she's quite ambitious. She was a cheerleader for Brighton and Hove Albion, and had done cheerleading in front of thousands of people, and had shown a real commitment and dedication into training to learn how to do that. So for me, lots of hobbies, lots of activities would be something I would look for in a young person's CV.
Okay, right. What qualifications and experience would a young person need to have to increase their chance of getting a job in your sector?
Qualifications obviously are very important. So school GCSEs would look for the core subjects, maths, English, for a C and above really. However, if it was slightly lower, but they'd had, I don't know, they'd done lots of different experiences, maybe a Saturday job, and they'd done cash handling if it was for a food and beverage role, then, you know, I would look at the all-round CV. And also what I like to look for is not just the CV, but a good cover letter.
Okay.
So, you know, nicely worded, telling us what you want, what you're looking for, and what your ambitions are, and that always helps.
What are the most important employability skills in your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion, the skills that I look for when I employ somebody would be self-motivation, somebody with ambition, somebody with commitment. Especially in this hotel, we are really focused on developing people internally and promoting people internally. So we like to commit, and we provide lots of time, energy, effort, further qualifications. When you start, you do MVQs. So for me, in turn, I would look for commitment back from that person, which again leads me back to the original CV. If you show you've committed to a hobby and you've taken time to really learn it, then it shows to me that you're committed, which would be something I would look for here, that and loyalty.
Okay. What would a typical average day look like? What kind of tasks would I be involved with?
Okay, well it depends, because it's a hotel. We have various different departments. We have a housekeeping department, a food and beverage department, front office, maintenance, human resources, finance. So depending on which department you would work in, no 2 days, not even 2 hours are the same in this industry. That's why it's such a fun place to work, because every day is completely different. For example, today you are here at a conference, at an event. Tomorrow we may have 400 people full in the lobby. The next day we might have a cabin crew staying. So every single day is different, and so all the people are different, which is what makes it a fun place to work.
Why did you choose to work for this company in particular?
For this company in particular, and I don't know, it might be interesting for you to do when you go home, but if you Google Arora, you will see that the founder and the Chief Executive Officer, Surinder Arora, has a fascinating and quite inspiring story. He came from India at the age of 13 and came to live with his grandparents and didn't speak any English at all. He went to school, he learnt the language, he lived up near Heathrow Airport. He bought his first house, which was a terraced house on the Bath Road. He turned it into a small bed and breakfast for British Airways cabin crew. Eventually it became so successful, in the end he bought the whole row of terrace houses, knocked them down and built the very first Arora Hotel. He was a baggage handler at the airport, he did lots of different jobs to fund it. And from there he now runs 8 hotels, and is hugely successful. So it's, for me, to be inspired by somebody like that, who still comes to the hotel at least 4 or 5 times a year, will greet you by your first name. That's what makes me stay here, and I've worked here now for 11 years in every single department, and I'm loyal and committed because they've been good to me.
What kind of work experience activity will help young people prepare for a job in your sector?
Okay. Work experience is something that we advocate, so I'm more than happy to take work experience from schools. What I would normally do is a planner for the week. So the very first day they would have an induction, just the same as anybody that I would be employing. So it's a half-day induction which gives a tour of the building, all the health and safety aspects, a history behind how it all started, names of the managers of each department. From then on, I would then place my work experience student into each department, every single department in the hotel, so that you can get a small taster of each department. So you'd probably go into housekeeping, you'd shadow a room attendant, see how hard it is to clean the rooms. It's the hardest job in the whole hotel. Shadow a floor supervisor who goes in to check the rooms. You'd spend some time with me in HR for any questions that you've got human resource related. Food and beverage, you'd do a bit of waiting staff, waiter. Kitchen, I don't normally because of health and safety, there's lots of knives and dangerous equipment in there. But front office reception, which is an important part, that's the first people that people see when they arrive through the door, is front office reception, so it's really important. So yeah, I would make sure that I placed you everywhere so you would get the best out of your experience for the week.
How can young people best prepare themselves for work?
I think the way you can best prepare yourself for work is to, where possible, and if your schooling allows it, is to take on a Saturday job or some voluntary work. School is very different from the workplace. When you're in the workplace, you have to be motivated yourself, you have to have willpower, you have to have staying power. There's nobody telling you where to go and what time you've got to be there. So I think if you can get some form of work experience, whether it's paid or voluntary, it really helps you to prepare for the workplace for when you get older.
Okay. What is your most valued skill or skills?
My most valued?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah, I think.
Well, being human resources, I want to hope that probably my best skill is people. I'm a people person. My job, part of my job is staff welfare. It's also to almost a business partner to the general manager, so we work very closely together. I think probably if you ask staff, probably my most valued would be my people interaction skills.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.